Here are today's top stories. President Duterte signs the Ease of Doing Business law to stop red tape in government transactions. Malacanang sees no conflict of interest in the matter of contracts between the government and Solicitor General Jose Calida's family-owned business. Police identify a suspect in the killing of Buena Vista, Bohol Mayor Ronald Tirol. And Kiefer Ravina gets an 18-month FIBA ban for failing a drug test. Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Maroto. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Transactions with the government will no longer be a hassle as President Rodrigo Duterte signs the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act of 2018. Duterte said the signing of the law is long overdue as it will solve the perennial problem of bureaucracy. The new law will solve the perennial problem of red tape in government. With the signing of the law, government agencies are required to process simple transactions within 3 days, complete transactions in 7 days, and highly technical transactions in 20 days. The law will also limit the maximum of signatories to only 3 in every transaction. Electronic signatures will also be recognized, and a zero-contact policy will be implemented to avoid improprieties. Duterte reiterates that one of the priorities of the administration's 10-point socio-economic agenda is to encourage competitiveness and improve the overall business environment. He says automatic bureaucratic processes will forge a vibrant and productive relationship that will redound the benefit of the people. President Rodrigo Duterte has reiterated his plan to declare Boracay Island as land reform area after its ongoing rehabilitation. Duterte said only the coastal area would be used by tourists, while the land area would be given back to the natives of the world-famous resort island. The president said he has no idea why Boracay became commercial when, in fact, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo signed a proclamation in 2006 classifying the island into forest and agricultural land. In 2018, the Supreme Court upheld Arroyo's proclamation, saying the petition had no legal basis to say that private entity can own land in Boracay. Duterte has directed the Department of Agrarian Reform to start working on his land reform plan. The interagency task force has started the cleanup and rehabilitation of the 1,028-hectare island. Malacanang does not see any conflict of interest in Solicitor General Jose Calida's family-owned security company having 150 million pesos worth of contracts with government agencies. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says Calida's enemies are getting back at him for winning his quo warranto petition, which led to the ouster of Maria Lourdes Sereno as Chief Justice. Senator Francis Pangilinan called for Calida's resignation, citing the case of resigned Tourism Secretary Wanda Tulfo and the advertisements on the show of her brothers in state-run PTV4. Roque explained that Calida has not entered into any contract with his own office, the Office of the Solicitor General. He, however, noted that he will leave it to the courts to decide on Calida's case. Roque pointed out that Calida has acknowledged that he has stock ownership, but he's not exercising any management powers, however, the shares of which are still owned by his family. Moreover, Roque said Calida has resigned from all of his corporate posts before he became Solicitor General. Former Senator Bongbong Marcos asks the Presidential Electoral Tribunal to junk the plea seeking to uphold the 25% shading threshold in the 2016 vice presidential elections. More on this from Benj Bondoc.
Former Senator Bongbong Marcos on Monday asked the Supreme Court sitting as the Presidential Electoral Tribunal to junk the motion for reconsideration seeking to uphold the 25% shading threshold in determining the validity of votes in the 2016 vice presidential race. Marcos, who went personally to the SC to file his comment, asked the tribunal to junk Vice President Leni Robredo's appeal, praying to recognize votes shaded by at least 25% in the manual recount of vice presidential votes. He also asked for the confirmation of the 50% threshold and to discontinue the segregation of ballots with threshold issues for lack of basis and for unduly delaying the recount and revision proceedings. In his comment, Marcos said there was no categorical declaration by the Commission on Elections adopting the 25% shading threshold in determining valid votes. He argued that using the threshold was absurd as the random manual audit report admitted its impossibility when human eyes and not machines are determining the validity of votes. He also said it was wrong, premature, and speculative for Robredo to claim that the 50% threshold would influence the results of the manual recount in his 3 pilot provinces. Meanwhile, Robredo's lead counsel Romulo Macalintal expressed disbelief on Marcos' persistence in requesting the PET to uphold the 50% threshold shading in the current ballot recount. Macalintal said that this move would result to disenfranchisement of millions of voters. He reiterated that COMELEC has set a 25% shading threshold on September 6, 2016. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondo.
The Muntinlupa City Regional Trial Court Branch 205 has denied the motion for furlough filed by former Justice Secretary and now detained Senator Laila de Lima to attend her son's graduation on Sunday. A court order from Judge Amalia Fabros Corpus says de Lima cannot be given a different treatment from other prisoners. The court said that de Lima's presence will disrupt the solemnity of the graduation not only for the other attendees and parents but also for her son. The court adds that with the center's presence, the security of the school may be put at risk as well as a place where it is located. Apart from the reasons listed by the court, the prosecution cited that the occasion will be celebrated in public. The risk of flight is very high and her supporters might disrupt the graduation ceremony by holding a protest rally. Fabros Corpus is one of the judges handling the drug cases filed against the former Justice Secretary in connection with her alleged involvement in the illegal drugs trade in the New Bilibid prison. Still to come, JG Summit reports decrease in profits due to the shutdown of Boracay and the train law. Police identify a suspect in the killing of Buena Vista, Bohol Mayor Ronald Tirol. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sabay-sabay nating ibabangon buong pagmamahal, tayo ay aahon.
Isang taon, isang syudad, isang pagbangon.
The AFP confirms the ongoing clash with military and Maute Group.
Naglusad ang joint operation ng AFP at PNP pero sinalubong sila ng putok.
The orders is to pursue. They keep pressing and be with regard to keep in mind the safety of civilians also.
Isang taon na ang nakalilipas simula nang sumiklab ang kaguluhan, takot at dalamhati. Yan ang dulot ng sigalot na nagsimula sa baluktot na kaisipang inihahasik ng mga bandido at terorista. Ngunit sa panahon ng krisis, nananatiling matatag ang loob ng mga Maranao. Nanaig ang malasakit at bayanihan sa gitna ng putukan at kawalan ng kasiguraduhan.
Yung unit namin, we're dependent from one another. Kahit ako, I find strength sa mga kasama ko. Ang daming beses na gusto kong umatras, pero sige, hindi tayo nga, sama-sama tayo, sarakan. Ginagawa natin to para kay Allah. Yun ang jihad namin.
Muntik na hindi kami makalis dun sa bahay namin kasi po yung asawa ko paralyzed. May tumulong po sa amin na isang lalaki. Sabi niya po sa amin, huwag kang umiyak, ante, kakargahin ko ang asawa mo. Sabi ko ay alhamdulillah. Sana pagpalain ka ni Allah.
Nung nakita ko yung mga tao na ang dami nila, halos nagsiyakan. Sabi ko, teka lang, parang kailangan yung tulong ko dito ah. Alam mo yung feel ng isang tao na pag umiiyak yung Yung nanginginig, pag nayakap mo, biglang nawala yung ano niya. Sabi mo, oh sige, makakatakas ka, nandito ka sa Capitol.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare Marawi City liberated from the terrorist influence that marks the beginning of rehabilitation of the people.
Marawi, sabay-sabay.
Sa pagtatapos ng bakbakan, hindi naputol ang pakikipagbalikatan ng pamahalaan sa mga apektadong residente. Kailangan ding maging matatag ang mga kawani ng gobyerno para sa agaran at tuloy-tuloy na pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga apektadong komunidad.
In behalf sa CSWD kami nagpasalamat jud mi no nga in almost 2 months ta nag-uban sa evacuation center kami dili mi makaingon nga dili mi mingaon sa inyo kay gitreat na mo sila as a family jud.
Nagpapasalamat kami sa Pangulong Duterte.
Nandito po kami ngayon sa Sagunsungan, sir.
Malaking tulong itong collaboration ng different agencies na nagtipon-tipon dito para kahit papaano man lang is maibsan yung buot at lungkot ng mga bakwit.
Gokongwei-led JG Summit Holdings as reported being hit hard by the shutdown of Boracay and the implementation of the train law. JG Summit President and CEO Lance Gokongwei said its airline company Cebu Pacific is expected to lose about 500 million to 1 billion pesos due to the 6-month rehabilitation of Boracay. Gokongwei mentioned that the Caticlan and Calibo flights, which led to the island, account for 6 to 7% of Cebu Pacific's domestic flights passengers. Gokongwei added that the unexpected spike in global oil prices coupled with a weaker peso has really affected its airline business. He says Cebu Pacific is seeking the approval of the Civil Aeronautics Board for the airline to implement fare increase of 70 to 250 pesos for its domestic flights. Meanwhile, Gokongwei says the tax reform law has also affected JG Summit's food and beverage unit Universal Robina Corporation. The sugar sweetened beverage tax reduced the tea products volume in first quarter of 2018 by 12 to 15% due to higher prices. As part of the celebration of Ramadan, businesses put up their products for sale at the trade fair designed to showcase Maranao culture and help the residents of Marawi City. More on this from Lu Antonio.
With the celebration of Marawi Week of Peace last week, the Department of Trade and Industry Lanao del Sur opened the Ramadan Trade Fair at the People's Park, Marawi City in partnership with the provincial government of Lanao del Sur through its Technology and Livelihood Development Center and Negosyo Center. 35 exhibitors participated in the said trade fair, wherein different Maranao products such as palapa, kalawag, malong, and others are being sold. GTI Lanao del Sur Provincial Director Muhammad Namainte encouraged everyone to support the trade fair as a way of helping the affected residents of Marawi City. According to him,
kami po ay nananawagan po dito po sa Lanao People's Park. Meron po tayong trade fair po, showcasing lahat ng mga Maranao products from food to non-food para po matulungan nyo po ang aming mga IDPs po. Ito po ay mga karamihan or most or lahat IDPs po ng marami po.
The Ramadan Trade Fair will last until June 10, 2018 and is open from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. For PNA Newsroom, Lu Antonio, Philippine Information Agency.
Police have identified the suspect in the killing of Buena Vista Bohol Mayor Ronald Tirol last Sunday. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde says the suspect was the same culprit behind an ambush against the mayor in 2015. The PNP has verified the identity of one of the suspects and has launched manhunt operations. Tirol was shot in the head Sunday afternoon at the cockfighting arena in Clarin Town. Meanwhile, Albayalde is ordering all regional directors to form a task force that will handle the killings of government officials, particularly elected officials and state prosecutors. Tourism in Davao City is seen to have recovered from the effects of martial law in Mindanao as authorities note an increase in arrivals. City Tourism Operations Office Chief Generose Texon says tourist arrivals last year dropped for the first 2 months on martial law due to fears of a repeat of atrocities in the 1970s. Tourism slightly recovered in July, but the numbers remained low. But during the celebration of the Kadawayan Festival, the city recorded its highest tourist arrivals compared to 2016 at 180,000 visitors based on hotel occupancy. Texon says tourist arrivals in Davao City exceeded 700,000 during the first 4 months of the year. Contrary to fears spread by martial law critics, residents and visitors claim to feel safe and secure in the city. Meanwhile, bookings in hotels became difficult due to the increase in conventions held in the city after the Ironman Challenge last March. To address the needs of the displaced residents of Marawi City, the Department of Health conducted medical checkups on site. More on this from Calvin Pinaco.
The Department of Health conducted medical checkups on the internally displaced persons at Sarimanok Tent City in support of the observance of the Marawi Week of Peace. Dr. Siegfried Hector Razo of DOH Region 10 revealed that the most common health problems at Sarimanok Tent City are respiratory infections, skin diseases, and hypertension. He added that these diseases were expected due to weather changes in the city and contamination rate was high due to congestion. In response, DOH provided patients with the necessary medicines, vitamin supplementation, maintenance, and advice on lifestyle modification. For almost a year now, DOH has been providing medical assistance to IDPs in the form of medical services, water, sanitation and hygiene or WASH monitoring, provision of hygiene kits, mental health and psychosocial support services, and nutrition services. They also refer patients who cannot be accommodated by their services to other more suitable doctors. Meanwhile, Dr. Razo encouraged all patients to take good care of their health.
Parati lang tayong maging hopeful sa government to address their concerns, and then yung mga advices about their health, parati nilang sinusunod para maiwasan natin yung mga outbreak din dito sa kuan. And then yun lang, seek early consult talaga sa mga kuan kasi malapit naman sila sa City Health Office ng Marawi at saka may Pakpak Medical Center.
Furthermore, he said that medical assistance in coordination with the City Health Office and other health agencies would continue as long as the IDPs need it. For PNA Newsroom, Calvin Pinaco, Philippine Information Agency.
Up next, PDEA agents arrest an Indian national for offering bribes in exchange for the release of his son. FIBA bans Kiefer Ravina for 18 months for failing a drug test. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Sisikat na ang panibagong araw.
Sa pamamagitan ng kooperasyon ng mga residente, lokal na pamahalaan, Task Force Bangon Marawi, at non-government at civil society organizations, unti-unti nang nagbabalik ang katiwasayan ng buhay sa Marawi.
Isang dugo ang nasa ating mga ugat.
Kung hindi po sumuko yung mga iba't ibang organization for us, ang gobyerno, ang lahat ng tumulong. Kung hindi sila sumuko for us, mas lalo po tayong hindi dapat sumuko. Likas po sa ating mga Maranao yung pagiging masinop, resilient, and hardworking. And this is the best time for us to show those values that we have.
Dahil sa ipinapamalas na katatagan ng mga residente at ng mga taong nakikiisa sa pagtugon sa panahon ng krisis, nananatiling matayog ngayon ang adhikain ng Task Force Bangon Marawi para sa muling pagsilang ng lungsod.
I will see to it that Marawi will rise as a prosperous city again.
Habang tumatagal, mas lumalakas ang panawagan ngayon para sa ating lahat na sama-samang harapin ang hamon ng pagbangon mula man sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao o maging sa ibayong dagat, may maiaambag sa muling pagbuo ng Marawi. Isang pagpupugay para sa lahat ng bumabangon para isulong ang pagkakaisa't kapayapaan.
Isang taon, isang syudad, isang pagbangon.
Isang taon,
isang syudad, isang pagbangon.
Isang taon,
Isang syudad,
isang pagbangon.
isang taon, isang syudad, isang pagbangon.
Harapin ang hamon ng pagbangon. Matahin natin bawat daluyong sa ating pagkakaisay. Walang di kayang abutin. Sama-sama nating buuin ang bayang mapayapa. Ang bayang mapayapa. Ang bagong Marawi.
An Indian national who tried to bribe them in exchange for the release of his son was arrested by agents of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. PDEA Director General Aaron Aquino commended operatives for refusing the bribe in exchange for the release of Rajid Gidwani of Barangay Kupang, Muntinlupa and his cohort Jeremiah Alero Carillo. Aquino said that Indian businessman Nari Kishin Khan was arrested after he tried to bribe them with 1 million pesos for Rajib's release. He says the incident demonstrates that moral integrity still ranks high among PDEA's ranks. Operatives seized from Gidwani and Carillo some 1 million pesos worth of illegal drugs during a buy-bust operation on May 25. The suspects are facing violations of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. Kishin Chand will be charged for corruption of public officer. The Philippine National Police is ready to arrest businessmen found to use the train law to unlawfully jack up their prices. The move follows President Duterte's directive to deal with businesses that will take advantage of the tax reform law to justify their price hikes. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde says they will conduct the arrests in coordination with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Albayalde, however, clarifies that the BIR remains the lead agency in filing charges against unscrupulous businessmen. The BIR earlier warned businesses against using the train law as an excuse to increase prices. The Bureau maintains that the suggested retail price for goods should still be followed. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas has confirmed that Kiva Ravina has been suspended by FIBA for 18 months due to his failed drug test. Officials from the SBP, led by President Al Panlilio, received notification from FIBA that Ravina tested positive for 3 substances that are considered prohibited by the World Anti-Doping Agency. Ravina was tested positive last February 25 during Gilas FIBA World Cup qualifiers game against Japan at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay. Ravina said the prohibited substances were found in a pre-workout drink he took before the game. Ravina, who was supposed to play on Sunday night for the Visayas All-Stars at the PBA All-Star Game in Iloilo, was notified by the SBP to fly back here for the said presser. The 1.5-year ban started right on the day of his urine sample examination and will last until August 24, 2019, which means he will be eligible to suit up for Gilas if the team makes the 2019 FIBA World Cup. As our fellow Muslim Filipinos in Marawi observe Ramadan, the government and others continue to pour in relief aid and support, particularly for their religious needs. More on this from Donna Magsino.
Internally displaced families in Sari-Manocten City receive support from various local government units as observance of Ramadan continues. The local government of Marawi City distributed grocery packs containing cooking oil, coffee, sugar, noodles, and bread spread. Each family also received 25 kilos of rice. The beneficiaries were thankful for the relief they received. Some Muslim IDPs expressed that this will be helpful for their iftar or gathering to break their fast together, especially now that most of them are still seeking for employment. Aside from grocery packs, Muslim women also received mukna or prayer garments from the provincial government of Lanao del Sur. According to camp managers, the issue on the lack of regular supply of water in Sari-Manok has been addressed by the Department of Public Works and Highways and Local Water Utilities Administration. This will be helpful for the ablution or ceremonial act of washing the body of Muslim IDPs before they offer their prayers to Allah. Dumala Malik, one of the IDP leaders in Sari-Manok, shared that his prayer to Allah is that they could return to a peaceful Marawi. As of latest data, 104 families are currently seeking refuge inside one of the said tent city, while 184 families are inside two. For PNA Newsroom, Donna Magsino, Philippine Information Agency.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories. President Duterte signs the Ease of Doing Business law to stop red tape in government transactions. Malacanang sees no conflict of interest in the matter of contracts between the government and Solicitor General Jose Calida's family-owned business. Police identify a suspect in the killing of Buena Vista Bohol Mayor Ronald Tirol. And Kiefer Ravina gets an 18-month FIBA ban for failing a drug test. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Good day.